My husband called me useless for 8 years, so I drained our accounts and left the day he lost his job. We met in a bar I didn't want to be at, one of those corporate happy hour things where everyone orders cheap drinks and tries to forget they'll be back in a cubicle in 12 hours. He was there alone, said he liked the music, said he noticed I wasn't checking my phone like everyone else. I thought that meant he was different. I didn't realize it meant he wanted someone who'd be easier to isolate. His name was Robert. Clean smile, deep voice, confident like he'd already gotten what he came for. I gave him my number. I laughed when he said he didn't believe in small talk. I thought that meant depth. It meant control. We moved fast. Dinners, sleepovers, weekends away. He met my friends, made them laugh, gave sincere compliments he didn't mean. When we got serious, he started tagging along to girls' nights and acting like it was no big deal. Kira didn't like him. She said he had too many opinions for someone who just showed up. I told her not everyone had to like the same things. I didn't say I already felt a little smaller when he was around. I thought that was normal. He wanted to combine our accounts 3 months in, said it would make rent easier, budgeting easier, everything easier. I was flattered, weirdly, like I was being welcomed into something adult. That's how he sold it. Smart couples don't keep score. I said, okay. First thing he did was make a spreadsheet, color-coded, tracked everything I spent, categorized it like he was planning to submit a report. He never yelled, just made jokes. Guess someone really needed 6 candles. Didn't know coffee meetings cost $70. I laughed with him. Then I started hiding receipts. Then I stopped going out. The jokes moved from money to my job. I work in nonprofit admin, which apparently makes me a glorified secretary. That's what he told his friends once while I was grabbing drinks in the kitchen. I heard him. He said it like a compliment, like he was proud he could date someone so grounded. I stood there and waited for him to say more. He didn't. When I brought up switching careers, maybe getting a certification, he said, "Sure, babe, just don't blow our savings on another passion project." That one wasn't even a joke. He said it while brushing his teeth, like it didn't matter. I nodded like it didn't land. After we got married, courthouse, no frills, things got tighter. He commented on what I wore more. My cooking, the way I talked on the phone with my mom, the things I watched. He called it banter, said I was too sensitive. I stopped inviting people over. I stopped buying my favorite cereal. I just stopped. Sex became rare and transactional. He used it to test if I was still trying, if I still cared what he thought of me. He'd make a comment about my body, then act surprised when I didn't initiate anything. Then he'd sulk. I apologized a lot, even when I didn't know what for. It got worse the day I checked the bank app and saw $400 missing. I asked. He said it was for car stuff. Then I saw another $700 gone, then $300. Random withdrawals, odd times, always cash. He got defensive when I asked. Said I was acting like a cop, so I stopped asking. I opened a new account on my lunch break. Transferred $50 at a time. My coworker Angie told me to stash cash too. I listened. The credit card statement came in the mail. I opened it before he got home. Strip clubs, bars, 2 hotel charges. I didn't cry. I didn't throw it at him. I put it in a drawer and made a spreadsheet of my own. Then he got fired. Walked in the door pissed off, slamming cabinets, said his boss was a snake, HR was out to get him, said he'd sue, said we needed to tighten things up, said I should quit, that now was the perfect time to reset. I asked what he meant by reset. He said we could stay with his parents a few months, save rent, focus on what mattered. I was supposed to be grateful. I looked at him, standing there like a man who'd lost everything but still expected the world to wait. That was it. No breakdown, no shouting. Just a cold, quiet number. I told him I knew. All of it. The money, the clubs, the lies. That I was done. My suitcase had been packed for 3 weeks. He followed me to the door. Said I was ungrateful. Said I was throwing away a future he built for us. Said I was average, and that I'd realize it once I was back to living like a secretary with no ambition. I didn't answer. I walked. I moved into a 1-bedroom with stained carpet and broken blinds, and a bathroom mirror that made me look like a stranger. It was mine. He started calling the next day. Texts, emails, voicemails. I didn't respond. I let them pile up until my phone froze. Then I turned it off and cried like someone had died. In a way, something had. I didn't tell anyone right away. Not Kira, not my mom. I wasn't ready for their relief. I just sat on my floor and made a list of what I needed. Dishes, towels, toothpaste. I got everything secondhand. I didn't mind. Then the doorbell rang, and it wasn't Robert. It was his mother. I didn't even open the door all the way, just cracked it enough to see her eyes were already wet. She held a Tupperware container and a tissue. I didn't take either. She said she just wanted to talk. I didn't say anything. I just stood there while she explained how Robert had been going through a lot, how men don't always know how to express themselves, how maybe I'd been too focused on work, too distracted, too cold. Then she said the word strip clubs like it was a test, like if I flinched, she'd win. I didn't flinch. She said she knew about that, but she also knew he only went because he felt rejected. She said it wasn't cheating if nothing happened. Then she asked if we could pray together. I told her no. I shut the door. After that, it got quiet for about a day. Then came the calls. 127 in 1 week. All from him. I kept count because that's what you do when you're trying to prove something to yourself. Like if I hit a certain number, it would make the whole thing real. It was already real, but I still didn't feel like a person. I felt like a broken object trying to look useful in a new room. He emailed too, told me I owed him, that I'd wasted his best years, that he made me, that no one would want someone like me. Then he'd pivot. He missed me, wanted to talk, needed closure. Then back again, I was cold, manipulative, cruel. It looped every day. Rage, guilt, seduction, blame. I stopped reading after a while. I just saved them. I still have a folder, just in case. Then I found the receipts, not physical ones. He never left paper around. But there were emails, forgotten inboxes, an old credit card login with his birthday as the password. He owed $23,000. Online poker, payday loans, and something called Elite Club Platinum, which turned out to be some subscription cam service he probably thought he deleted. I sat on the floor of my crappy apartment and laughed. Then I cried. Then I ordered fries. I started learning how to be alone. First with groceries, figuring out what one person eats in a week without throwing out half of it. Then hangers. I cried over hangers at Target. He always hated mismatched ones, so I bought the ugliest mix I could find. That felt like rebellion. That felt like something. He told people I stole from him, that I emptied the account and ran off. The account was joint. The money was mine. I didn't defend myself. I just waited for it to pass. It did, eventually. His voice got quieter. Mine got louder, not all at once. More like a scratch that turns into a sound you almost recognize. Sebastian messaged me next, one of Robert's old co-workers. The one Robert always said was fake, too polished, too soft. Turns out Sebastian was the only one in the office who actually liked me. He said Robert had been spreading lies at work, said I was unstable, said I drank too much, said I was sleeping with Sebastian. The irony is I'd never even met him, not once. But Robert apparently needed a story where he was the one betrayed. He couldn't stomach being the villain in his own life, so he invented one. Sebastian told me the truth. Robert got fired not because of office politics, but because he expensed strip club visits as client dinners and screamed at HR when they flagged it. Then he threw a stapler. No one told me that part, not even his mom. I started reclaiming tiny pieces of myself after that. I ordered pineapple pizza. Robert hated it, said it was childish. I watched dating shows. He called them trash. I wore leggings and crop tops and left dishes in the sink. No one died. No one lectured me. I bought towels in colors he'd hate. That felt like progress. I still checked my phone too much. Still paused when I saw a car like his. Still played fake conversations in my head where I finally told him off. But I didn't need to. The silence was loud enough. Then he posted about me. Said I was a gold digger. Said I ruined his life. Said I faked mental illness for sympathy. I didn't respond. I didn't call anyone to explain. I just deleted the app. I wasn't trying to win anymore. I went to the dentist. I hadn't gone in a year. I made the appointment by myself, paid by myself, and walked home with a free toothbrush and a strange sense that maybe I could do this. Maybe I already was. The next time Flora came by, she didn't knock, just waited in the hallway until I came out. She handed me a frozen lasagna and said Robert was going through something dark. I handed it back. I said I wasn't. That was the last time I saw her. Until the end. Kira came over with wine and snacks from college. We didn't say much. We didn't need to. She just sat on the floor with me and let me be weird. That was better than any advice. I took out the trash the next morning and saw a man across the street with the same posture as Robert. I stood there too long, long enough for him to notice. It wasn't him, but it was enough to make me shake. I went inside and installed a Ring camera. And that's how I survived the first month. I didn't heal, I didn't transform, I just kept moving. Some days that looked like making toast, other days it looked like Googling what to do when someone has a mental breakdown on your voicemail, but I did it. Then he showed up at my door, with flowers, like that would fix anything. He rang the bell 4 times. I watched him through the peephole holding those gas station flowers like they were evidence he'd changed. Same jeans, same shoes, same smirk trying to pass for remorse. I didn't open the door. I just stood there with my hand on the knob while he shifted from patient to angry to smug to sad. It took 45 minutes for him to go through every expression in his tool belt. He left the flowers on the doormat, slid an envelope under the door. It wasn't sealed. I didn't touch it. Not right away. I just sat on the floor until my chest felt tight and my arms stopped working. That was new. I thought I was past that. Apparently not. The neighbor called the cops. Not me. I couldn't move. They showed up, asked if I wanted to press charges. I said no. They asked if I felt safe. I didn't answer. They left. The envelope stayed. I picked it up the next morning. Not out of curiosity, just because I needed the floor to be clean. I didn't open it, just stuck it under the toaster and stared at it every time I made eggs. Kira came by with wine again. She saw it and didn't say a word, just handed me a frozen burrito and told me I needed protein. 3 days later, in therapy, I read it. 8 pages. All handwritten. Like that was supposed to mean something. It didn't. It was just the same pattern in longer sentences. 1 page of, "I'm sorry," next page of "You made me do it." He blamed the job, the stress, his parents, my emotional distance, said he was hurting too. Said he only gambled because he thought we needed extra income. Said I should have known he was spiraling. Then he signed it, "The man who still loves you." I folded it and gave it to the therapist. She didn't say much either. I saw Sebastian again, totally by accident. I was picking up a space heater from an office supply store, and he was in line behind me. He looked tired, but lighter. He asked how I was, and I didn't answer, just asked how work was. That's when he told me the full story. Robert didn't just expense strip clubs. He created fake receipts, changed dates, added fake client names, and when HR caught on, he accused them of discrimination. Said they were targeting him because he was straight. Said they were jealous. Said I was sleeping with Sebastian and trying to ruin his life from the inside, all while collecting paychecks and skipping meetings. He'd been unraveling for months. No one said anything, probably because they all assumed I already knew. I didn't. I thought I was living with a man who had bad habits. Turns out I was living with a man who lied like it was breathing. A week after that, I found one of my old journals in a box labeled office stuff. I opened it without thinking. First page was a list of things I wanted to improve about myself. My cooking, my weight, my social skills, my tendency to overreact. It made me sick to read. I had underlined "be good enough for Robert" 3 times, like it was a mission statement, like it was the only way I'd get to keep my life. That night, I ate ice cream out of the tub, wore mismatched pajamas, didn't brush my hair, didn't feel guilty once. Then Flora showed up again. But not at my door. I ran into her at Target. I almost turned around, but she saw me and smiled. Not the fake kind. A real, sad, almost human smile. She looked better, not manicured or polished, just lighter, like someone who'd stopped pretending. She was buying cat litter. I asked about the cat. She said its name was Beans. I told her mine was Potato. We laughed. It wasn't awkward, just honest. She didn't apologize for Robert this time. She apologized for herself. Said she saw now how much damage she let happen. Said she always thought she was protecting him, but really she was just covering up everything she didn't want to admit. She told me about Robert's dad, how he emptied their savings more than once, how he used to disappear for nights and come back with made-up stories, how she'd trained herself to believe lies if they came with an explanation. She said she saw it in Robert early, but didn't want to believe it. She said she was sorry. I believed her, not because she cried, not because she said the right things, but because she didn't expect anything from me. No hug, no healing moment, just truth. That was enough. I moved again, better apartment, no mold, dishwasher that works. I got my own credit card, learned to cook eggs the way I like them, even if I still burn the toast. I stopped apologizing to furniture when I bumped into it. That was a big one. I didn't realize how often I used to say sorry to things that couldn't hear me. Robert made a scene at a mutual friend's wedding, told people I cheated, that I brainwashed his mother, that I ruined his future. I laughed, didn't even feel a spike in my pulse. That's how I knew I was done. His noise had turned into static. I still check my reflection too often, still double-check my locks, still flinch when the phone rings sometimes. But it's not the same. I'm not bracing for his voice. I'm just living, imperfectly but freely. My cat sleeps in a storage bin I never unpacked. That feels symbolic, but I don't need it to be. It's just real. Flora sends me pictures of Beans. Sometimes we text. Not often. But when we do, it's just 2 women who survived the same man in different ways.